What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another one of the episodes by the numbers. Happy Valentine's Day to all of my couples out there, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful evening. I am actually not going out for dinner tonight. I'm going to make dinner for once. I shouldn't say for once, I do make dinner quite often, especially for those of you that do follow me along in my grilling adventures. I do make dinner quite a lot, but I'm going to be making Valentine's Day dinner for the wife. And on the menu, and this isn't a surprise, she already knows about it, is chicken parm. I have a recipe that I make that I found a few years ago that is perfect, and I'm excited to make it again and hopefully have some red wine and just, all around good meal. But anyways, that's not why you're here. You guys are here because we are going to talk about another By the Numbers episode, and we're going to get right into it. I have no plan for this video. I have no property already picked out. We're just gonna we're gonna go right off the rip, and we're gonna look for one. All right, so I have my app open here. Get rid of this. Okay, so yeah, let's see what we can find today. So if you guys can see the screen, we have 17. So I have this on my little Market Watch app. This is the MLS. This is the multiple listing service. Only me and other real estate agents in the area have access to this. But you can find stuff online, no problem. Everything that is online is fed from a program like this. But I can see with multi-units, because that's where we're going to focus. In the last 3 days, we have 17 brand new listings that came onto the market. Let me get my spreadsheet open here. Okay, so I got rental analysis. All right, so we have, sort these by price. So we have some, if this ever loads. $400,000 down to 32. Let's just start at the top here. No particular reason. Okay, so this one doesn't look too bad. We'll add it to my list of to be reviewed. Brownsville, this is in Carrick. This is actually a little intriguing. I don't know. Investor special. I love when people use that language. That's how you know it's something's wrong with it. Not always, but a good majority of the time. But we have 5 apartments, 2 retail spaces, and looks like it gets a fair amount of rent here. So we might look at that one as well. Ridge Avenue, this is in Ben Avon. Let's see what else we got. Charleroi, I'm not a fan of Charleroi, but that's just personal. I prefer places around Pittsburgh, but that's just me. 613 Sinclair. This one I actually knew about because of another client. So I don't know that we're going to look at it today, but we may review that tomorrow and possibly another day. Westview. This looks like a 3-unit. Yeah, 3 mailboxes outside. I mean, from the pictures, it doesn't look bad. I mean, it's not. Some of them aren't rented out. Oh, well, it says it's fully occupied, cash flowing. All right, so we'll evaluate. We might evaluate that one. In Westview, let's get a look. Let's get a look at where these are. All right, so this one's Regent Square, Westview. Herrick, I think that was down there, and then McKeesport, that's Sinclair. So we're gonna go pop into this one here. I'm just gonna do some housekeeping, get rid of that. So for those of you that don't know me very well, I like to bundle opportunities as I see them into folders, which allows me to kind of go back and take a peek at these later. So, because days get busy, I get distracted with this project, that project, this phone call, that phone call. If I can sort them out later, I'll have the thought, oh, this client of mine, this investor that I work with, this kind of fits his niche, and I'll send it to him, or this is in his area that he likes to buy. So I can kind of compartmentalize them that way. But I do like this. I don't see, so what we're about 1400, 1270, so that gives us about 2670 on 400. That's, I don't know what if it's, owner has an assumable conventional mortgage. That's interesting to me. I know that's going to be a pain. Hopefully there's not a due on sale clause in that mortgage, but why would they put that in there? All right, but anyways, this one really intrigues me because I can see it's $395 list price, gross annual income of 40. I wish it was 430,000. 43,200. So we got, I talked about this earlier, we have 7 units, 2 being commercial spaces or 2 retail spaces, and then the other 5 being residential units. So it looks like these might all be occupied. I don't have, let's just assume it does. All right. So let's look at this one. So 2022 Brownsville Road. We're gonna make a copy of this. All right, so we're just going to purely assume it's worth what they're asking, which in most cases they aren't. So 395, taxes are 5,063. I'm going to use 25. I'm going to use 3,000 insurance cost on this one. Could be more, could be less. So 43,200. And let's see. What I don't know is if the utilities are separate on this one. So maybe we don't evaluate that one. Let's look. Landlord pays all utilities. I don't like that, but I'm just reading through the information here to see, because ideally we want to evaluate one where the utilities aren't being paid by the landlord, but yeah, see that this is what I hate. Nobody, very rarely, do agents put rent rolls, expense reports, pro forma. I mean, we don't really care about the future. I mean, we do care about the future, but we don't want to look at projected rent. We want to see what's been brought in. But so many agents don't have it, and the problem is a lot of these landlords don't have it in the first place. Like you have these professional landlords, and then you have these weekend landlords where they just do things at their own pace in their own way. And then you have these professional landlords where every single thing is basically organized to a T. All right, so we'll do this. We will assume, for the sake of this, I don't know without calling her, and I don't want to call her over this live, but so we can see right now that we have 2 retail spaces that are empty, and then the 5 other spaces are occupied. So those are the residential units. So we have 2 1-bedrooms, a 3-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, and a studio, presumably, in unit 7. So 760, 850. Let me just bump back over here. 950, 950, 750. 90. And let's take that by 12. So 51,120. So if it is fully occupied, I don't know where she got that gross annual income from. Let me just make, so 950, that's 1900, 1650. Am I calculating something wrong? All right, so 750 plus 950 plus 950 plus 850 plus 760. So 4260 times 12. Yeah, that's right. That's a 51,120. I don't know where that 43.2 came from. Because if we're basing this off of 12 months of rent, it's 51,120. All right, so let's plug that into our spreadsheet. 51,120. So 395 purchase price. We'll say we'll keep it at a 6.5% interest rate. We're again going to assume that the utilities are being paid for by the tenants, not the landlord. And all right, so let's get into the numbers here. So 51,120. Again, let me take a step back here. So we are going to make assumptions with this. Could be reasonable, could be not. Like insurance, I don't know if we're on base with that or if we're off. Property taxes, that's what we have. Management fee. This is a projected financial performance summary with professional management in the picture. And then maintenance reserves, we're going to assume you're going to tuck away 3%. We're going to bump that up to like 8% because this is a building. Shit happens and you don't know what's going to happen. Buying cost, selling cost, those are all accurate. We're going to assume everything increases year over year. So, all right, let's dive into the numbers. So first year, 51,120 in gross annual income. Operating income is, this is after all expenses, assuming there's some downtime with vacancy, 49,075. Then we take out our property taxes, our insurance, our maintenance reserve, so money we're going to shuffle to the side to cover any issues that arise, and then property management at $5,000. So our total operating expenses are 17,265. So that gives us a net operating income of 31,811. And just to kind of explain cap rate down here. So how you're going to arrive at cap rate is your NOI into your purchase price. Let me make sure that's right. So our net operating income was 31,811. 31. So 31,811 divided by, that was the sale price on this thing, 395 by 395. So 8 cap. Yeah. So it's about an 8 cap. Won't let me drag it onto the screen, but it comes out to be an 8% cap, which is reflected down here. So 7.7, 8%, that's what it is. Our cash on cash return, about 9% for the year. Return on equity, 27. We're losing money this year because we have our buying costs and all that. Again, I've said this in numerous other episodes. Real estate investing is about the long term. So you don't expect to make money your first month. You expect to make money year over year, and as inflation rises, this is where real estate makes you money. So, all right. I don't want to get off topic, but basically, let's say you buy this at $395, given the current situation. We have 2 vacancies in the other 2 units. You are cash flowing about $650 a month, okay? Year 2, that bumps up to $741. By year 5, you're making $1,000 a month from this piece of real estate, and your tenant's paying down your debt. So our mortgage for this building, you should have this property paid off in full. Our total loan amount is going to be 80% loan to value, so because we're putting 20% down. So 80% of, let's see here, times 395. So that's going to give you a total mortgage loan amount of $316,000. So really, you should have this paid off within, I wish I could expand upon some of these columns, but you'll have this entire thing paid off probably by year 25, if not earlier, if you have every unit occupied. But overall asset rating, if we look at this, these numbers don't look too bad. Year 1, you're losing some money. By year 5, you're getting 83%. And keep in mind, so for a property like this, our down payment, so we're putting 20% down on 395, that's 79,000. We're paying about 10,000 in closing costs. So all in, we're about 88,480, give or take. On that money we have into the deal, we're making 83% return on that money by year 4. Year 5, 120%, and then obviously by year 30, you're well over 2,000% of your money. Things are going to happen. Your roof's going to go bad. You're going to need a new roof. You're going to need new hot water tanks, new furnaces. These are common things that happen when you buy real estate. Things break. This is why you're setting money aside. So, you know, every year we're setting 8% away. So that should realistically, as long as there's no major issues, should cover most of our expenses. So I'm going to grade this as a pretty solid investment. You know, this wasn't planned, but if you look at the numbers, the return on investment, the capitalization rate, this is pretty common. Pretty decent numbers, I'm not going to lie. So that's 2020 and 2022 Brownsville Road. Let's take a look at another one. This is, yeah, let's analyze this one. So this is 613 Sinclair Street. So this is we'll make a copy. I don't want to screw up my master spreadsheet here. Sinclair Street. We're going to assume 300,000. Nope. 300,000 purchase price. Taxes on this one are 10,000. We're just going to assume 10,000. Insurance, we'll assume 3,000. Gross annual income on this 73,740. I don't know if that is all accurate, but we'll roll with what her numbers are. All right, so with this one, if we put down 20%, all in, we're about 67,200. What is this person paying for? There's 11 units in this building. That I like. The more units under one building, the better as an investor. Makes it easier. I don't know why that's not letting me change that. That's odd. Oh, that's why. I'm in the wrong spreadsheet. 0, 0. All right, let's take a look at this one. So this is Sinclair Street. This would qualify as a commercial loan because it's over 5 units. Whew. It's a building, expenses are bigger usually. We'll assume 8%. Management fee, again, we're going to assume that we have a management company involved. So, all right, this one's going to be interesting. So property is valued at 300, okay? We're going to make money at year 1 on this one. This one cash flows a lot of money. almost a 15% cap. So we are collecting 73,000 presumably in gross annual income. Our operating expenses, our vacancy, we're going to allow for about 3,000. Our operating income after that, 70,000. Operating expenses for the year, 26,000. So after all of that, our operating income is about 44,517. Now we factor our mortgage payoff and everything. We're cash flowing $2,000 a month. That's fantastic. I mean, you can't ask for much more, especially in the early on year. I have a feeling this will be a property that will be popular. I mean, these numbers are crazy if these are to be true. 13% return on investment. You're making almost 100% of your money by 2.5 years in. Yeah, this is incredible. Purely from the number side. You know, we don't know what's wrong with it again, but I would assume if this is in good shape, solid rents, provided you don't have too many tenant issues, but given this area, I'm not going to make general assumptions, but purely off of my knowledge of the area, it is a generally lower income. So you're with lower income, you have lower rents, but they're still with 11 units and they're making that on an annual basis. That's not bad. Yeah, I would definitely keep this one as a consideration. So those are the only two I'm going to evaluate for today. So we have Sinclair Street, and then we have 2022 Brownsville Road. So if I'm purely to look at these by numbers, and again, none of this was planned. This Sinclair is a really attractive investment, even though it is a McKeesport. There's been some bad press lately. Obviously, there was a cop that just got killed over there. So obviously there's some notions that people have about the area, but it's not a bad place overall. It's, you know, I have a ton of clients that love to throw their money in McKeesport. It's affordable, but yeah, I would definitely be interested in this property. Brownsville Road, very interesting as well. And yeah, if any of you guys have any interest in these properties, give me a shout. I will link in the comments on the various platforms momentarily the thing to the spreadsheets, so you guys can look at the numbers, play around with the numbers. I will link the properties, so you can click on the properties and find out information about them. If you guys have any questions about real estate, if you want to buy something, sell something, give me a shout, DM me. My number's somewhere on here, presumably. So happy Valentine's Day, and we will talk soon.